what does it mean to be a woman with heart? Authentic, honest, bold, and moving all the time. When I really realized the value of volunteering was in my career, and I had a very large presence where my work was, and wanted to be more involved as a business presence in our community, not just for business, but to help our community. I encouraged our entire staff to take on a beautification project in our city. We went out and cleaned up yards and planted trees and all kinds of things, and it was like the broken window theory. If someone's taking care of their property next door, then likely the pride in the neighborhood would improve and everyone would want to keep it clean and nice, and that did happen, and it was life-changing for me. I met people I would not have been in the same circles with otherwise, and it got in my blood, and that's where I realized that it doesn't matter what zip code you live in, we're all the same, and there's good people everywhere, and it created a sense of urgency for me to see what I can do more in the area of high poverty and to help folks that struggle. So I have to say the most influential person in my life is my mother. She's a very strong presence in my life. She is a survivor. She grew up in rural poverty with a single parent, her mother, who was a teacher, who worked to make ends meet or tried to make ends meet. My mother was alone quite a bit and was raped at the age of 5. And could have benefited from services like Volunteers in Medicine, who provides all kinds of free health services, but that wasn't even on the realm of reality. But she, despite those struggles, which were real, and not really having a voice to speak out about that, she was an extremely positive, strong, selfless person, and taught all of us not to judge and to be accepting of everyone, and she was extremely selfless and would give the shirt off her back to a stranger. She modeled volunteerism for me, whether it be through the church bazaar that she helped organize, or scout leading, and others. I think it would be neat to have a conversation with Eleanor Roosevelt. She is someone who rejected just having the comfort of having high tea and biscuits with her friends and social class, and wanted to do something more. And so she rejected that and decided to do something that was more meaningful in life and much more rewarding for her. And that was bold, especially way back when. So I love bold women, and I think she would be a kick to have a conversation with. Malala comes to mind because she's passionate about women learning and reading and doing things that aren't even allowed, but yet good for them, and she's risked her life to create those opportunities for young women in her country and elsewhere to have the right of education. And so I think that she's tremendous, effective, and I could learn a lot from her. It's not one word, but I think that many friends and people who know me say that I would walk through an open door. So if there's an open door, I would walk through it, not knowing what's on the other side, a little unpredictable, but willing to take the chance. Well, I like wine with my friends. Political conversation with my girlfriends. Well, healthcare is and should be a right for everyone, and it's just not available for everyone. It's too costly, and even for those who are working and trying to make ends meet, healthcare is not at the top of the hierarchy for them to put money towards because they're too busy trying to put a meal on the table or keep a roof over their head for their families. So it is just a beautiful and unmatched asset in our community that we have a top healthcare provider that engages volunteers of the caliber of Mayo Clinic physicians, Baptist Health physicians, St. Vincent's, every major healthcare operation in our city that provides the top physicians who are volunteering their time. That's validation that what they're doing is so important. And I'll never forget, I'm the immediate past president of Women's Giving Alliance, but the very first time I was at the grants decision table and I was able to read all the grants proposals that were presented was my first opportunity to learn about volunteers in medicine, and it stood out among every proposal because of the percentage of volunteer time that goes into the whole budget mix, which is unheard of, and should be very. It's so valuable as a donor or someone who's a philanthropist that more of your dollars go into who you're trying to serve, because those volunteers are providing it without cost. It's a model for a nonprofit in our community, like none other, because of the percentage of volunteers and the caliber of those volunteers, and the service and the impact that it's having on our community for those who deserve it, who need it, and who should have it.